What do you mean the King of England's prosecuting his own brother for being in the redacted files, but our own government said we can't do that because the whole thing will collapse? The King of England is prosecuting his own brother. They said they put his own brother in handcuffs. And you telling me we can't put the CEO of Limited 2 in handcuffs? Huh? What? You telling me Bill Gates out here going like a G6 in the sky? And they got Andy from Norfolk. That's what they called him. Prince Andrew was at one point second in line. He was number 2 in line for the crown. He was about to get the best government housing in the history of the world. And now they're calling him Andy from Norfolk. And we can't even talk about David Copperfield? We're out here, Attorney General of the United States being like, the whole thing will collapse if we turn the files into trials. Meanwhile, they're over there in Britain. They never even seen a son. And they're prosecuting royals for the first time since 1647. What was the point of 1776, bitch? What was the point of the Declaration of Independence? If they get more justice for their royals than we can get for our rich people. You got a cabal of redacted elites. They got capes and shit. They got crowns. And they got cuffs for those motherfuckers. What do we have over here? Ambassadorships. We got awards. We got Wall Street bells. Ring the fucking trial bell, motherfucker.
That's 100% true. I think one thing that he probably missed is that I don't believe that the brother, the one that got arrested in England over there, he's not arrested because of whatever he did, whatever we want those people to be convicted of. I think he gave up certain information that he wasn't supposed to give up, or he showed certain things that he wasn't supposed to give up. And that's why they're punishing him. It gets even worse when you realize that everybody, all of them, is all together. Let's break that down. If the Democrats before never did anything about this, which they had the information to do, they said Trump was named in the Epstein files more than Harry Potter was named in the book, and more than Jesus himself was named in the Bible. Okay. That if Democrats really wanted to destroy him, they would have just released that. And once they would have released that, because he was saying it was a Democratic hoax, he could have did that. And they would have just destroyed him. And nobody would even vote for him. It would have been day done. But they knew that if they bring him out, other people was going to go down. So they was trying to save those people. That's the reason why they didn't let it come out. And when Trump went to go speak, I forgot in what event, because I don't really pay attention like that. But Howard Lutnick, the same person that said that Epstein was a disgusting person and he left him out, his nasty ass brung his whole entire family. And even when afterwards, after we found out that Epstein was a pedo from before, he already had charges. The guy said that after that, he was disgusted with him. He went in his house with his wife. He had a massage table, all this other story. Howard Lutnick said all of that only to find out that he was still in contact with Jeffrey Epstein. That's not even the bad part. The bad part is that he was saying that he was with another couple. So him and his wife with another couple wanting to come over there. He said, we both have 4 children, and then told him the ages of each of the children. Why? And this man still gets to work with the president and that shows you that the power has power.
I'm going to say this in the plainest way possible. When over 1 million pages has released and nothing fundamental has changed, the story is not stalling. It's not. It's completed. Because systems don't respond to volume, they respond to threat. And what this proved unmistakably is that disclosure itself is not a threat. So I'm going to show you what's actually happening when files like this drop. The system is not asking, is this true? It's asking, does this interrupt continuity? And when the answer is no, the response is automatic. Slow it down. Spread it out. Turn it into a process. Let attention fragment. Let time finish the job, because time is the best solvent there is. And that's not a choice. It's how large systems preserve themselves. So every new batch is not reopening a story. Not at all. It's reaffirming the outcome. Every release answers the same question again and again recursively. How much can be revealed without forcing any redesign? And the answer keeps coming back the exact same. Every single batch. And that's the uncomfortable part that people don't want to get to on the news. Because what we're watching is not a reckoning, it's instruction. Right? It's instruction. Not instruction in committing harm, but instruction in how to remain survivable inside the system. It says you don't need secrecy, you need dispersion. That's what the files say. It says you don't need silence, you need time. That's all they say. It says you don't need innocence, you need to avoid becoming a low-bearing point. And most of all, it says as long as continuity holds, everything else is negotiable. I just read to you everything that the file said right there. And that's why absence matters more than the pages. Over 1 million pages. I want you to really sit with that. No structural response. Nothing. No line drawn, no irreversible rule, no moment where the system said this stops now. That absence is not confusion. That's the signal right there.
I believe the same exact thing. I'm going to let him cook because everything he's saying is true to the basis of no matter how much, as people say, oh, we got to see the other Epstein files. There's another 3 million files. I'm like, nobody cares about just seeing them. We know. It just confirmed what we already knew. But if nothing changes and the same people holds power and the seats are the same and the same people are doing the same thing, who cares? They're fool. What they're trying to make it seem is that it stops with him. It stops with Epstein. Epstein is a person, and he's going now, allegedly, because that's another rabbit hole that anybody want to go down. But he's going now, so therefore, whatever he was doing stopped. This is the reason why they was so pent on, especially Trump. They was so pent on making it seem like he was just a lone shooter, just like Charlie Kirk hit her. Just a lone shooter, did it by themselves. He ain't trafficked to nobody else. He just did it for himself. That's it. Bullshit. But they knew if they can get you to believe that he was just by himself and he's dead now, then the problem is solved. But the problem is not solved if the people around him are still active. This is the reason why they didn't want those files to come out and for people to know. But now they're looking at it like, listen, we can give people the files, but what we're going to do is we're going to give them a little bit, or let's say half of it. Make sure nothing happens. Whole thing. Everybody get calmed down. Everybody calm down. After everybody calm down, you might release some more. It's going to be some uproar. And it's basically just balancing out. This is equivalent to making something and not just throwing everything in at one time. You kind of dish it in there slow so it can mix in properly. And that's exactly what's going on with them. And they know exactly what they're doing when they're doing it. The problem is that people are more outraged about what they found in it, which we all kind of knew, or at least the conspiracy theorists. People are more outraged about that. And instead of trying to change the system in a way where that can't happen anymore, because the people actually run the system, not them. So if you understand the power of the people, the person, this is the reason why when they do it, they have to do it in a sneaky way. They have to do it it's not a, yeah, we did it, so what, in your face type of way. It's more like, oh, we didn't know. They have to make an excuse because they still need to stay in power and they need to keep you calm. It's similar to how when somebody cheats inside of a relationship, they'll try to like act like they didn't do anything. Even if they knew the person wouldn't leave right then and there. They're just trying to calm the waters down so they can continue to do whatever they do, right? That's how the narcissists and the people like in that area work. It's the same type of people these people are. They know if they was to admit it and be like, yeah, I did this. I don't care. Once you say that, then you can start an uproar and you can start a rising. And if everybody's over 330 million people in America, if everybody say, oh, no, this ain't happening. Oh, something gonna have to change. So they have to keep it calm. And this is the reason why they I firmly believe this is the reason why they split, or they try to split the voter class and try to make people go against each other and try to give you other bullshit that's going on when it comes to all these other communities and all these other problems. I firmly believe they do that to fragment everybody. So everybody can't be on one accord. Because the day we come on one accord and be like, we don't care about nothing else but this, lights up for them.
They just responded to you. That is the systemic response, the silence you're hearing right now. Because systems teach through repetition, and the lesson being taught here is simple. Nothing about this itself requires change. That is the lesson of the Epstein files, the whole thing right here. And that's why the story feels flat, and that's why outrage doesn't even accumulate into anything, and each release feels smaller than the last, and why the response is always procedural instead of decisive, because the calculation already ran. It's already done. The result was already acceptable. So when people ask, why release anything if nothing follows? The answer is because releasing without design stabilizes the system. I'm going to tell you why they did it again. When somebody asks you, why release anything if nothing follows? The answer is because releasing without redesign stabilizes the system. It vents the pressure. It proves resilience. It demonstrates absorbability. It is not exposure failing. That is not exposure failing. It's exposure being used. And you got to know when exposure is being used. And once that's demonstrated, the story is literally over. Not morally. I'm talking about structurally, it is over. Because from that point on, nobody is guessing. They're just watching precedent. That's all it is. They're learning what triggers charge, what triggers change, and which ones doesn't. And this one didn't do anything. Nothing. So I don't want any more files. I don't want another batch at all. I don't want to even see another release that teaches the same lesson again to the perpetrators and the victims. We just need the Epstein Act. We need it. We need it today. I'm just being honest with you. Because until something forces a redesign, every page you drop is not justice to anyone. It's instruction on how to survive here. That is exactly what the Epstein files are showing people, are showing the rich right now. Instructions on how to survive here.